Yesterday was a pretty interesting day for the Seattle Seahawks when it came to roster implication moves. And by that, I mean, moves where you're freeing up cap space, you're bringing guys in and out of the lineup, either for injured reserve, practice squad, bringing them up from practice squad, all that type of stuff. The Seattle Seahawks had quite a few things go on yesterday. And today we're going to be taking a look. Now today, once again, I am using this different camera angle. I don't know why this is growing on me so much. I really enjoy this camera angle. Maybe it's because I can put these stupid pictures in the back. Like, this is the Seahawks. This is me when I'm at school and they make any moves. It's like stuff like that. I don't know why I really like it. But anyway, to get into the video, one of the probably most interesting moves that the Seattle Seahawks made yesterday was signing Tanner Muse to their practice squad. He was a third-round pick for the Las Vegas Raiders last year, but he wasn't able to show anything in his rookie year because he had a toe injury that kept him out. But he's 25 years old. He's a safety converted to linebacker from college. He had a 4.41 40-yard dash. I mean, this guy, he has a lot of upside. He was a pretty high draft pick. He obviously has some talent. Coming from safety to linebacker, that's a pretty easy switch to make, I guess you could say, other than, having to bulk up and get some size on you. But a 4.41 40, that is really good. Obviously, super athletic coming from safety. So this is a really interesting guy to be brought in. I don't know how much of an impact he'll actually have this year being on the roster. Maybe he'll be a guy that the Seahawks bring up for a few games with their whole, you can bring up two guys every single week from the practice squad to the active roster to play in games, but we'll see what happens with him. I think this signing is really just a no-risk, high-reward signing. There is a possibility that as a young 25-year-old that is athletic, he could be a linebacker that we could bring on the squad, and he could actually become really good. He could grow, progress, and actually make it to the active roster eventually, but if nothing happens, I mean, you're really not losing anything. And the second thing that happened yesterday that's pretty important when it comes to roster implications for the next few days or weeks for the Seahawks is Dwayne Brown's contract restructure. Obviously, I wasn't able to talk about it because the news came out like right as I posted the video yesterday, but Dwayne Brown, he got a contract restructure. We added a void year, so we saved $3.5 million for this season, which when you look at it, why do the Seahawks keep on trying to get salary cap for this season? They haven't really shown many signs of using it. However, they've had some interest in a guy called Geno Atkins, and for some reason, there's some rules. I don't really know the specifics of it, but it makes a lot more sense financially for the Seahawks to end up signing him after week one, so we'd play week one, then get Geno Atkins after that, and it would make more sense financially for the Seattle Seahawks. So it looks like the Seahawks are looking to do something like that. Maybe they're looking to make a big move for a corner and make a trade while I'm at school, inevitably, but I mean, the Seahawks seem like they have something up their sleeve. They've got something cooking because we kind of have our roster set, but they keep on clearing up cap space for this year. The Jamal Adams contract extension saved us a few $1 million going into this season, and Dwayne Brown, his reconstruction, is saving us $3.5 million this season. I believe we have $11 to $12 million when it comes to a cap that we can use on people. So the Seahawks, they have to have something planned. There's no reason that they're just freeing up cap space and throwing it onto later years for absolutely no reason. So I think the Seahawks will be looking to do something either before the season starts or after week one, getting someone like Geno Atkins or another veteran that they really like but don't want to, get too financially stuck with. And now the final thing that I believe was important for the Seattle Seahawks yesterday was their injured reserve players. Now, there was someone who I kind of expected and then someone I was definitely surprised by. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, they moved 3 players to the injured reserve. They have Nigel Warrior, who there really hasn't been any news about his injury or anything like that. They have Trey Brown, who I kind of mentioned he might go on injured reserve. He'll be gone for 3 weeks, maybe more, but he could come back after 3 weeks because he's on short-term IR because he was on the 53-man roster before he was thrown on the injured reserve. But the guy that really surprises me is Colby Parkinson. We've been hearing so many good things about, he's coming back a lot faster than expected. He might possibly play week 1, maybe week 2, but now they're kind of keeping him out for at least 3 weeks. So I guess Colby Parkinson, maybe he is doing well when it comes to the recovery from his broken foot, but maybe they don't want to rush it. I feel like that's something that is understandable. I expected Colby Parkinson to come back earlier than week 4, but it doesn't look like he can because he's been thrown on injured reserve. This one was kind of surprising to me because Colby Parkinson, we've heard so much good stuff about his rehab, but he is thrown on the injured reserve. He's going to be out for the first few weeks of the season. I guess they're just playing it safe with him and Trey Brown, and they're freeing up space on the roster by putting these players on injured reserve, and they brought back up Penny Hart, which is a good thing. I think Penny Hart deserved to be on the active roster because he was our 5th best wide receiver. I guess we didn't want to bring up the wide receiver depth, but Penny Hart is now on. John Reid got brought back, the guy that we ended up giving our 7th rounder to. I don't know how the situation would be if he actually does end up playing 6 games, because technically he got cut by the Seahawks, so we would get our 7th round pick. And if he plays 7 games now, would it really matter, or would we have to still give up the pick to the Texans? I have no idea with that situation. But then the Nigel Warrior going on injured reserve freed up space for Bless Austin, who was signed the other day. So the Seattle Seahawks, they put a couple guys on the injured reserve because they're injured, and they brought Penny Hart, John Reid, and Bless Austin onto the active roster. Some guys that I think we can all get on board with. And now, with all the important things out of the way, allow me permission to waste about 1 minute of your time absolutely flexing my fantasy football roster. I had my fantasy football draft for the league that I'm in yesterday, and I got, obviously, my wombo combo of Russell Wilson and Chris Carson. I think I've got them for the past 3 years. It's sad I couldn't get DK or Tyler Lockett. They went a lot earlier than I expected, but I think I got some good guys, Austin Eckler, Jarvis Landry, DJ Moore, Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin. I think I got a pretty solid roster here. Let me know down below what you think about this. Disregard the team name. It's a good name, but I don't chase young kids. But that's about it. I just wanted to show that off because I think I made some pretty decent selections. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about all the things that happened yesterday for the Seahawks. What do you think about the signing of Tanner Muse? What do you think about the implications that the Seahawks are freeing up cap space consistently this year? What do you think they're going to be doing with that? And what do you think about the injured reserves and the guys brought up from the practice squad and all of that? Let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.